Most university students can recall magnificent memories as children, such as spending time with their friends and family members, going on relaxing trips to interesting places, or learning about new gadgets and technology. But life for John Akuar was much more painful and arduous. Akuar was born in southern Sudan, and soon after he turned 8, he was walking 1,000 miles in eastern Africa, losing his friends to hungry lions and dodging bullets in a war-torn land.
And it was terrible. We have to cross the river, and there was a shooting going on over the river, and we don't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim. Some of my friends don't know how to swim, and we were very young at that time. So by the time we have to cross the river, if you jump into the river, you just die there. If you stay on the riverbank, you get shot. To Korajer, this is a village where my tribe also live, and where I was born is Abul.
But Akuar was able to cling to a rope that some men had thrown from the other side of the river.
That's how I survived that incident. A lot of my friends died there.
Eventually, he made it to northern Kenya, where he spent 12 years in a refugee camp before moving to Tucson in 2004. But instead of dwelling on the past and giving up hope, Akuar wants to help others and provide inspiration. He and the group of supporters in Tucson want to assist the people in the village where Akuar was born. Last December, he returned to that community in Sudan for the first time since he had fled in 1987.
It was amazing. It was a lot of history. Some people were crying, some people were very happy to see me. So all these kind of situations were in there. And I met almost everybody. I couldn't recognize anybody except my dad. But all the people, even my sibling, I didn't recognize them. But what I saw when I went in was the situation of the people themselves, how they're living. Children are there in the village and they don't have access to school. No good building classes, no books, textbooks. They don't have blackboard to write on. Like in the school where I went and talked to the headmaster of that school, they only have one blackboard that they take from class to class. They have it in one class for 20 or 25 minutes, and they have to move it to another class.
And despite being a full-time student and having a full-time job, Akuar is staying very busy on other projects. He's making time to work with members of St. Francis and the Foothills United Methodist Church in Tucson and anyone else that can assist him. Art Aldeg is involved with an adult education program at the church, and he met Akuar during one of his presentations about the proposal. Roland Loomis has been working with people in Africa for several years, including Nigeria and Kenya. They plan to build a school and a well for water, and later they may also add a house of worship.
Oh, I just think it's a beautiful example of humanity, of just helping people. And John has had such a horrendous experience, and yet he's willing to go back and help the people. It's just super.
The need for that school is huge. It will empower them to rebuild their country. We obviously need to start with a well, because when you drill a well in a village, the people will come back. And when you build a school in a village that's been war-torn for so many years, the people will come home.
I'm studying international studies, and I hope to finish at the end of this year.
And what do you hope to do when you graduate?
Since I grew up in a refugee camp, and I learned a lot about how a child lives without parents, I would like to go back home and work and help my people, especially children who lost contact with their parents for a long time, and try to bring them back with their parents.
I can't even relate to it. You know, it's so foreign to me. You know, they walked for 1,000 miles. I'm in the middle of reading the book, What is the What? And that's a very compelling story. It just details, you know, their experiences for the years or so they were walking on foot, you know, through Sudan and Ethiopia and then back into Kenya. And it's just, he's a hero for me, I guess, in what he's doing.
It's my faith that pulls me forward. It's my soul, my constant communication with my God, pulling me forward and giving me vision. And I just know from the very depths of my soul that I'm called to do this. People often ask me, why do you go to Africa when there's so much need here in Tucson? And my answer is that's where I'm called to go.
And John Akuar also feels compelled to go back there, to return to the birthplace of his lifelong journey. It's the land where his family still lives as farmers and ranchers, and where he hopes many kids will have better lives than he did as a child.
When I came to the United States here, I spent 5 years, and what came into my mind is that God must have a reason why I did not die at that time. I dodged a bullet. My friends were eaten by lions. Some of them died in the river, and I passed through that situation. There must be a reason why God kept me. And this is the reason today that I have to give back to the community.